The Paleo diet has taken the world by storm, as proponents of the so-called Caveman Diet hail eating just like our ancestors did between 2.5 million and 10,000 years ago. Those who believe in following the nutritional plan eat meats, fish, nuts, leafy greens, regional veggies and seeds, and cut out all processed foods. So with the growing number of people following the diet, including celebrities Miley Cyrus, Fox and Gwyneth Paltrow, and the gap in the London market, IBTimes TV caught up with Pure Taste head chef Holly Redman. After initially holding a paleo pop-up restaurant in Sussex, following a wildly successful Kickstarter campaign, Redman then launched London's first dedicated restaurant of this kind.
My background's nutrition, and I was working with quite a lot of clients, mainly with celiac disease and digestive problems, and I was finding that for them, taking out the kind of modern processed foods, the gluten, the grains, the dairy, was making huge improvements in their digestion and their general health and their energy levels. And I was starting to do this with quite a lot of my clients. They were all really benefiting from it. Started to read around the subject and discovered some of the works of the early pioneers of the paleo diet, so Lorraine Cordain, Rob Wolf, etc. And thought, this makes a lot of sense. So initially I started doing a pop-up restaurant that catered to this sort of diet, as well as for celiacs and people that were intolerant to dairy. And it was a huge, roaring success. I had waiting lists for a couple of months. People were booking, ages in advance just to get a table, and there was a real demand for it. And I thought, this is something that people want. It's something that would be a really good way to show people that eating healthily doesn't have to be boring. And it's a way that people with food allergies can eat out with their friends and their family, and everyone can enjoy a meal together.
Indeed, far from visions of plates of plain steak and steamed vegetables, Pure Taste walked us through a range of their culinary highlights that show you how you can eat like a caveman, but also experience fine dining.
The beetroot dish is a dairy-free alternative to cheese. So we make a nut cheese by soaking and fermenting nuts with friendly bacteria and sort of various garnishes to go with it. The scallops dish is South Coast hand-dyed scallops, and we make a parsnip and scallop coral puree that goes underneath, and we make an apple fluid gel and apple caviar that goes on as the garnish. The beef is simply the shellfish stock and the tomato and the wine all cooked down until it's really flavoursome, topped with pan-fried rainbow trout fillets and prawns. And then the short rib dish is Jacob's ladder beef, which is slow braised in the oven for 24 hours with all sorts of veggies and red wine and stock.
But you don't have to be a follower of the paleo diet to enjoy the fine dining experience at Pure Taste. Speaking to one of the directors at the restaurant, he revealed that it's not just people who follow the paleo diet, but also others with other allergies will also be catered for.
Virtually none of my friends are restrictive on their diet at all. They will eat anything, and it is quite a point of pride that when they come in here, they sit, they enjoy the food, and it's just feels like having a meal in a good restaurant. However, the focus of this restaurant is to provide somewhere for an individual who is, for whatever reason, controlling what they eat and has had to suffer with their friends and family, or their friends and family have had to suffer with them not being able to eat out in the restaurants that everybody enjoys going to. There's been really emotional moments from our customers when they've come in with a daughter, a wife, a husband who has been restricted on their choices when they've gone to other restaurants, and they've been able to sit down and the entire family are enjoying a meal together. I've had customers come into the restaurant who've said to me they've not had dessert in 5 years, and they have ordered from the menu. The food's been put in front of them, and they've got their fork in their hand, and they haven't started eating. They've just sat there staring at the food, and I've had to come over with my hand on their shoulder and go, "It's okay. It's fine, you can eat it." And they need the reassurance just to know that this is something they can eat. There are so many of our customers come here because they have no other choice. They suffer from an allergy that prohibits them from eating out in any other restaurant in the city and in most of the country. So that's where my favourite dishes are, in the desserts. When you have one of our chocolate cakes, you almost don't understand how this can be a healthy dish.